Hi everyone, today we're going to be making a seeded wholemeal bread from our Cooking for Diabetes Thermomix Cookbook. Now the best thing about making your own bread is that you have control over the ingredients. We have an inbuilt scale system in our Thermomix that makes it super easy to bake, and who said you can't have your bread and eat it too? So let's get started. We're going to pop our linseeds into the Thermomix bowl first. 20 grams, our scale is activated. And we're going to mill those up for a few seconds on speed 8. So now we're going to just weigh in our pepitas and our sunflower seeds. We want 50 grams of each. And the whole mixture is just going to get popped aside for later. Now, no need to clean the bowl, we can continue on. We want to place our milk and our water next, 200 grams of each into our bowl. That's both my milk and my water together. We want a little bit of yeast. And a tiny bit of caster sugar, as that's going to help to activate that yeast. Now we're going to heat up those liquids and the yeast so that we can activate the yeast. 2 minutes 37 degrees on speed 1. The beautiful thing about making your own bread rather than store-bought is that you know exactly how much salt is in there and how much sugar. In this case, we have no salt in this recipe. Now we're going to add all the remainder of the ingredients, which is our baker's flour, our wholemeal flour, our rye flour. We're also going to use some bread improver, which you can swap out for apple cider vinegar if you like, and the seed mixture that we prepared earlier. Baker's flour, some rye flour, wholemeal, our bread improver, a little bit of oil, and our seed and nut mixture. Now this is the exciting part. Thermomix does all the hard work for you. This is going to knead for 6 minutes, which means my hands are now free to go and do something else. Okay, that's ready. Look at that, gorgeous dough, all kneaded for you. I'm going to pop it out onto our greased mat here, and look at that, it just falls out with hardly anything left in the base. We're just going to wrap it into a ball, and my mat was just lightly greased so that it's easier for me to work with once it's proved. So it's a nice little ball. We'll wrap it up, put it to bed, as I say, and then we just have to let it proof until it's doubled in size, about 1 hour, 1.5 hours, depending on the weather. Our bread dough is well and truly proved, so now we are just going to shape it into a nice loaf shape and then pop it into our tin. Now, the best way is to knock the air out of the loaf, and you just want to create a bit of a pocket of air in there when you're shaping. So I'm going to fold the edges in on each other, and the ends, place it seam side down, help to create that log shape, and that's ready to go. So it's going to go into our nice heavy duty loaf tin here. If you're using any other loaf tin, you'll probably need to grease the loaf tin, but this one here does not require it. We're going to sprinkle it with a little bit of milk. And sprinkle with a little bit more of the seeds, pepita, linseeds, or whatever you fancy. The milk allows the seeds to stick onto the bread loaf. Now we're just going to let it to sit again because it does need to have a second rise, but once you see that that dough has reached the top of this loaf tin, then it's ready to go. You're going to pop it into a preheated oven, 200 degrees, and cook it for about 30-35 minutes. And here we go. We've got let it rest in the tin for about 5 minutes and then it's ready to go. A beautiful seeded wholemeal bread that you've made yourself for half the cost of a store-bought loaf of bread. Now, this is only one recipe of many in our new Diabetes Cookbook with loads of simple, tasty recipes that everyone can eat.